Now. Oh. Okay, so here we are live. Welcome, welcome everyone to our Unlimited Network Mastermind that we do every Saturday. So 1 hour per week dedicated to join forces here, to unite with people that are like-minded, that looking for the same kind of unfoldment, the success from the inside out. And we empower each other here. And today is August 1st, 2015, August 1st. I'm like, wow, this goes quick. And I just want to say hello from Arne. He's teaching this weekend, so he's not going to be with us here, but he for sure in spirit is. So, because, you know, this kind of mastermind was something that he holds very, very strong in his heart. So I love to be part of this and to support each other, you know, and the ones that you are on the other side, you know, just looking the video, whatever, just remember to send an email to Arne, A-R-N-E, at Arne Rantzen, at unlimitednetwork.com, that's easier. If you want to be on the panel with us so we can play. You remember that we read a little bit in the beginning and then at the end we start to share and to really, the intention is to integrate these principles, to embody them, to be them, right? So that takes intention for sure. And you know, today we are going to start. We are studying the book of Catherine Ponder, The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity, and today we are going to work with chapter 16. And Doc Fran, like always, is the one leading us here in the reading. Amazing, Doc Fran, the way that I think we are going through all of this, and then to see if we can, at the end of your reading, see if we can really deepen in our understanding, you know, about this principle. So welcome everyone again. Thank you for choosing prosperity. And here we go. Doc Fran. Today was shorter than normal.
Well, good morning. And I just learned that I guess you did 15 last week.
Yes.
The Special Powers for Prosperity?
Yes.
Oh boy, well that's the chapter I prepared for today because I wasn't on the call last week.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh,
well,
boy.
we can do two. You know, it's not too long, this one. It's not really too long. So I don't know if you want to do the one that you have prepared and we repeat, because to me all these principles are so important, or we continue here.
Well, I apologize.
Don't worry.
I wasn't aware that that you had done 15 last week in my absence, so that's great. Yeah, it was a very interesting chapter, and so it may bear repeating.
We had a Celio reading it. He was great.
Ah, well, I know it was done excellently then, without a doubt. So. Shoot, let me see, because I don't have 16 printed out, because I could probably do that. Okay. So I'd have to pull it up on the screen. Let me see what I can do here.
Yes, and you know it's not too long, so I think we can make it.
Okay, let me go to. I hope you're not recording this right now.
Yes, we are live. This is what happens, you know, and it's so beautiful because I love to practice life, to me, you know, and when things go wrong, you know, to don't get, you know, negative in our minds and to really see the good outcome. Yesterday I had a wonderful example for all of us to learn, me included, okay, because it was a decision that is coming more and more naturally. But yesterday I was going to the beach with the dog that I'm babysitting, dogging sitting here. And I arrived to the car and the back window completely broken, like in 1,000 pieces, you know, and I'm like, what? Just right there, you know. And oh my gosh. So I was like, and then the first thought that I had was, who have done that? Or I don't know, I was going that arena, you know. And then I said, no, thank you. Not my business. Nothing was stolen because I don't have anything important in the car. And then I start to, you know, bless. Okay, well, maybe I have to show up in the garage for whatever reason. So I went to the garage in the closest village here in Costa Rica, is where I live. It's kind of third world a little bit, you know, like it's not like in America that everything is organized or something like that. So, but it's interesting. I went, and normally you need to leave the car there. They don't tell you when they end. I mean, it's kind of complicated. Well, they took me right there. They had another window, the same window from another car, so secondhand, and they fixed it in 1 hour and 10 minutes that I was there sitting, and $40. And I was, in the beginning, oh my God, let's see a window. I don't have any idea how much that costs, blah, blah, blah. So no, thank you very much, just bless, and divine love is here. I mean, I love to start to see that language spontaneously coming out, but very aware of the other kind of side, and the fearful and whatever, So I'm happy to see that we can change our experience in life by really changing our minds and our intentions and our focus. Where do we put our attention, right? So that's a little story to see that I'm happy to apply all these laws. And I want to know, Doc Frank, if you need some help or.
I pulled it up on the screen. It's just different because I haven't pre-read it and highlighted it. So. I will. I can just go ahead now, and I'll read it off the screen as I'm going through.
Yes, and it's not too long, Doc Frank. So maybe when you see a story, maybe you cut it. But I mean, it's like 5 pages compared to others.
Well, that's great then. So if I had to pick a chapter to not be prepared for, this was the best one. So see how everything works out.
Exactly. Beautiful. Okie dokie. So I let you in charge now, Dr. Frank.
All right. Well, good. Well, this book is fabulous, and I want to thank Dr. Monica for bringing it to our attention. And I'm thoroughly enjoying learning. And one of the things I love when you find an author like Catherine Ponder who has the ability to bring extremely complex metaphysical thought and explain it in a way that is extremely understandable for the masses. And beyond that, what Catherine's done here for us is actually prepare almost a handbook of how to apply these spiritual laws of existence to our daily lives easily and in a way that we can all duplicate and practice to make it work in our life. And practice is the operant word here, because until you practice these things and actually apply them on a regular basis, it's like riding a bike, is from my experience. You're very clumsy at it in the beginning. It doesn't seem to produce the results that you're looking for. And then suddenly one day, you get on the bike and ride, and it's wonderful and thrilling and exciting, and from then on you can ride that bike anytime you want. So today's law is the power of persistence, and Jesus was describing the power of persistence when he declared, "No man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of God." In other words, when you realize that prosperity is your divine inheritance, you should persist in claiming it. A businessman who often sends me books and articles on prosperity recently sent me this statement by Calvin Coolidge: "Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Education will not. The world is full of educated failures." Oh, see, this is the problem with doing it this way. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. The slogan, "Press on," has solved and always will solve the problems of the human race. When discouragement tries to beset you, when it seems as though your efforts toward success have been in vain, remember to hold on to that statement. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Persistence is your can-do attitude. I know of a young man who tried everything and had failed at everything, yet he had tremendous talent, ability, and charm. He knew that there was a right place for him in life, but it had just not appeared. Finally, he decided to enlist in the Navy, and that was the turning point for him. Everything he had done from that point on has proved for him a great success. He has received a number of promotions and official recognitions for his Navy work. The prosperity law of persistence might easily be described as the can-do attitude. Many people have just the opposite approach, the can't-do attitude, which is a guarantee for failure. As you observe successful people about you, you will discover that they have cultivated the habit of persisting in the face of apparent failure, so that they seem to enjoy insurance against it. No matter how many times they experience setbacks, they persist towards their goal, and they inevitably achieve it. There is nothing halfway, lukewarm, or half-hearted about persistence. It is bold, daring, fearless. It does not hesitate, but goes after what it wants and keeps plugging until it gets results. A good statement to use in the face of distressing lulls or setbacks is, I am not discouraged, I am persistent, and I go forward. Remind yourself often, I am not on the way out, I am on the way up. When Jesus spoke of putting your hand to the plow and not looking back, he was describing the mighty power of persistence. A plow is an implement used to cut up, turn up, or break up the soil for planting. Your persistence is your mental plow, which helps you break up those old failure attitudes of mine which have previously kept success from you. Once you have broken up the feeling of defeat, you are then ready to launch forth with the can-do attitude that will surely show you how to succeed. The average person surrenders too easily to appearances, when often just a little more enduring persistence is all that's required to turn the tide from failure to success. The word persist literally means to refuse to give up. It also means to continue firmly, steadily, insistently. When you are discouraged and unable to see any good ahead, declare, I refuse to give up. I shall continue firmly, steadily, and insistently until my good appears. Keep plowing that hard ground of failure and limitation until you break it up completely with your victorious attitudes of mind, supported by your outer actions aimed at success. Often, all it takes is a little more persistence in thinking big, working steadily, and expecting big results in order to bring them forth in your life. A recent advertisement carries this caption, people who chase dreams are the most likely to catch them. The story of Jacob wrestling with the angel until the break of day shows the power of persistence in producing success. He vowed to the angel, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. The angel renamed him Israel, which means Prince of God. You can, like Jacob, become a Prince of God through persistence. When you meet disappointment constructively, you can still go forward to greater good. It is though by your refusal to give up the years that the locust hath eaten, they're restored to you. Indeed, through persistence, so much good can be added to the present moment that it blots out the emptiness, discouragement, and failure of the past. Often failure is success trying to be born in a bigger way. And persistence helps you to experience that greater result. For several years, I wrote inspirational articles for the Unity publications. At one point, I hit a snag. Everything I wrote and submitted was rejected, and I wondered if my writing career was ending so soon. I went through a disheartening period, constantly battling with the feeling of failure and wondering what it all meant. Months later, as I began to evolve the laws of prosperous thinking, it became evident that the rejections of my articles were an indication that I was not thinking big enough. The time had come for me to write books instead of articles. It was then that the ideas began to form for the writing of this book. I probably would have pushed past that level but I was able to establish and maintain the attitude, I refuse to give up. I shall continue firmly, steadily, and insistently until the good appears in this experience. Someone has said that success is failure turned inside out. I believe it. Refuse no as an answer. The enduring achievements of mankind have come about because men have steadily refused to take no for an answer. I recall a favorite phrase used by one of my high school teachers. She often talked to us about the power of going the second mile in life. At times, those words have floated up in my memory when I was tempted to stop at the end of the first mile, to sit down and quit. When inner methods of persistence are used, external persistence is not often needed. When you learn the power of prosperous thinking, you learn how to work things out in your mental attitudes first, rather than expend effort in running hither and yon, attempting to manipulate an outer desired result. The inner will produce the outer, but you must persistently produce the inner first. After you are convinced of an idea, you should persist in your conviction. If outer doors seem to close to you, do not hesitate. Persist in inner preparation. The inner realm of thought controls all outer action. When you get the right attitude, the outer world of results and personalities must conform to it. That is the law of mind action. In the face of apparent defeat, declare, "It is my divine destiny to succeed, and it is God's business to help me. I expect and claim His divine help now." It has been said that he only is beaten who admits it. The timid seldom attain great fulfillment. Persistence works both ways. We have all used persistence to fail when we should have used it to succeed. If you persist in expecting and talking failure, there is no power in heaven or earth that can prevent failure from appearing in your world. The story is told of a negative thinker who said to another, "Did you know that a depression is on the way?" His friend replied, "What do you mean on the way? I've been living in a depression all my life." On the other hand, if you persist in expecting and talking about prosperity and success, there is no power in heaven or earth that can prevent them from appearing in your world. In recent months, I observed a group of men and women persist in affirming and expecting success when everyone around them was decreeing hard times and recession. Their results were proof positive of the prospering power of persistence. A businessman in the group, whose stock market profits had been quite low during the previous year, found that his stocks began to increase as he persistently affirmed it. In the next 2 months, he made more money on the stock market than he had made in the past 12 months. Physical science has discovered that everything can be reduced to a few primal elements, and that if the entire universe were destroyed, it could be built up again from a single cell. In like manner, you can expand or rebuild your financial world from a single right attitude, which you persistently hold on to. By refusing to give up or give in to failure, failure finally is worn out by your persistence and gives up its power to success. The Apostle Paul proved this. Although he has been described by historians as a versatile genius, I believe his greatest genius power was that of persistence. In his time, Christianity was still considered illegal. Often Paul was imprisoned, beaten, and persecuted for being a Christian missionary. He braved criticism from all directions, betrayal among his followers, privation, and even shipwreck to do the work which he felt was important. Had it not been for Paul's persistence, Christianity might never have spread from the Holy Land, and in all probability would have died out in the first century. There's something about joyous persistence that seems to produce good results much faster. I have often heard the story of my grandfather who used the power of joyous persistence to get cotton picked on his South Carolina plantation at the turn of the century. When the day grew hot and the cotton picking had slowed down, he would join the workers in the field. As he picked cotton, he began to sing. The workers then began singing too. He would sing a little faster and pick cotton a little faster. Everyone else did the same. It proved an effective and happy method for stepping up production in the cotton fields. Spasmodic efforts count for little. When hard experiences appear on your pathway, meet them on their own terms with persistence, expecting success to come out of them. You should not use gentle methods when there are hard conditions. To use gentle methods on hard experiences is like trying to plow hard soil with a dull blade. You make little progress when you try to solve difficult problems in half-hearted ways. Meet hard problems by persistently refusing to give up to them. Insist upon receiving a blessing from those experiences. Face them with dauntless courage and daring. If you've ever had the breath knocked out of you, you probably found the process of normal breathing was not sufficient to restore proper breathing. Instead, you had to fight for more air. In like manner, in times of apparent failure or discouragement, if you do not vigorously persist in believing that you can and will succeed, you are likely to curl up forever in the clutches of defeat and failure. The American psychologist William James evolved the theory of getting your second wind, mentally, emotionally, and physically. He wrote of persevering until you reach your second wind. Often he kept going when fatigue assailed him, only to find that suddenly new reserves of strength were tapped so that he gained his second wind, and later his third and even his fourth. New energy would flow in to produce new power and victory. It was though an unseen partner had taken over. In times of emergency or deep need, untapped, dormant power is often released in man, power that would never be released unless there was an urgent need. You can know that such a time of challenge is but an indication that great power within you wishes to be released to aid you, to work for you and through you. Thus, when discouragement tries to come upon you, when despair says it can't be done, you'll never make it, that is the time to review your plans, to write them out and revise them as suggested in Chapter 4. That is the time to image and re-image your good as mentioned in Chapter 5. That is the time to affirm this is a time of divine fulfillment. Miracles now follow miracles, and wonders never cease to manifest as the divine plan of my life. That is the time to declare, the work of my hands and the plans of my life are now moving quickly toward a sure and perfect fulfillment. I anticipate the good. In God's right action, I now place my full trust. That is the time to affirm often, I am a part of all that is good, and good shall be victorious. That is the time to talk with a trusted friend and get a boost, or to form a small creative imagination group which will work with you toward success rather than entertaining any possibility of failure. That is the time to browse through the Bible for inspiration and guidance. That is the time to read the 23rd Psalm and meditate upon the meaning of its words. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Read the 91st Psalm. He will give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Remind yourself of the times you came through to victory in the past. When discouragement and despair try to keep you from persisting toward your goal, remind yourself of the successful people who succeeded in spite of being maimed, blind, deaf, or psychoneurotic. Toscanini was so nearsighted that he could not see the score when conducting. Lord Byron had a club foot. Homer and Milton were blind. Sir Walter Scott was an invalid. Beethoven was deaf. Dostoevsky and de Maupassant were epileptics. Franklin D. Roosevelt did not have the free use of his legs. Shakespeare might have been describing the power of persistence when he wrote, "There is a tide in the affairs of men, which, taken at the flood, leads on to fortune." Bring forth your flood tide of good by affirming from the words of Jesus, "All that which the Father has given me now comes to me in mind and manifestation." Remind yourself that it is not always the people with the most education or talent who make the grade. It is the plotters. It is the people who doggedly refuse to give up, whether they seem to have talent or brilliance. The story of the hare and the tortoise is the story of persistence winning out over great odds. In other words, as with the tortoise, you cannot be defeated if you just never give up. It is not usually the men of flashing mind power who are the heads of great corporations and industries. On the contrary, it is the men of patient, plodding character. They cannot be defeated because they never give up. It is not necessary for you to have money to get a start in life, nor that you inherit property, family name, or privileges of any kind. Neither is it imperative to have an extensive education. The one thing you do need, however, is a goal and a persistent, plodding determination to reach that goal, no matter what. If disappointment tries to sidetrack you along the way, meet it as best you can, and then just keep going. No negative experience can stop you for long if you don't look back after such episodes. Learn a lesson from Lot's life, who became hard and crystallized when she looked back. Instead, get your wisdom back on your goal. Get your vision back on your goal, and begin moving toward it in whatever way seems most logical at the moment. If you have been sidetracked and can't do anything directly to work toward it, there are little things you can do that give you the feeling you are moving toward it. Do them. They will lead to the bigger opportunities along the way. Just one step at a time, big or little, is all that's necessary. Take it, and it will lead to the next and the next. At the next, you can win too. No matter where you've been or what your past experiences have been, if you will decide what you wish to achieve and persist toward it. With Paul, the persistent soul should declare often, "Forgetting the things that are behind, I press forward to my goal." As Shakespeare caused Cassius to declare, "It is not in our stars, but in ourselves that we are underlings." If one does not persist, one does not achieve lasting success in any field. If one does dare to persist toward success, regardless of lack of education, background, talent, influence, money, or reputation, one can and will succeed. Dogged determination outlasts and outgames talent. Persistence is a characteristic to which success invariably surrenders. Calvin Coolidge offered this gem: persistence alone is omnipotent. Defeat may test you, it need not stop you. Regard apparent failure, disappointment, or defeat simply as signposts that success is just around the corner. Use them as greater incentives to forge ahead, and suddenly there will loom upon your pathway your heart's desire or something better. Success has a way of coming in a hurry after a long haul of plodding along quietly. As you persist towards your goal, get ready for fast, exciting, success-filled results. Have your plans carefully in mind of what you will do when success arrives, because just when it seems least possible, the tide will turn for you. Then it will be necessary that you take a deep breath and proceed to accept your flood tide of good step by step as already planned. As fulfillment comes, you must not let it throw you. Be alert and ready to accept it. Otherwise, it may evaporate before you, leaving you to begin all over again. Once success arrives, it is wise to persistently accept it and maintain it. Otherwise, it can slip from you. Persistence is the keynote to realizing your heart's desire and to maintaining them. Dwell often on the promise of Jehovah to Isaiah. "I will go before thee and make the rugged places plain. I will break in pieces the doors of brass and cut in sunder the bars of iron. And I will give thee the treasures of darkness and hidden riches of secret places." It can and shall happen through the omnipotence of persistence, perhaps just when it seems least likely. Through persistence, you can be one of those happy, victorious people who not only chases dreams, but who catches them. The persistent man also perseveres long enough for his dreams to catch up with him. Wow. that is an amazing chapter, as always. So let's go back and yeah, I couldn't help but I'm just going to talk for a second here, Monica, before I turn it back over to you.
Absolutely, Doc Fran. Please, please.
I can't help but flash on current history right now as foretold in this chapter. And, you know, we have come together with a group of like-minded people in our little mastermind here, and we have steadfastly plowed this ground in two different fronts for the last year because we had a vision of the success that they could bring to us in the future. And I hazard a guess that had we not formed this mastermind and persisted on those paths individually, we may have become overwhelmed by the apparent lack of progress and quit this path. And what a sin that would have been for us, because we're now seeing that our one business, of course, the iGrow Network, is rapidly producing this flood of abundance. And when I look at the fact that in the last 4 weeks, the income in my position equals 75% of all the income I had received in the previous 9 months. And with our new social commerce platform, it's nothing short of absolutely mind-blowing to look at. In just this 3 short weeks that it has been in operation, I have seen my social commerce, or IT commissions, double in the space of days. It went from initially 5, suddenly it was 14, then suddenly it was 28. Now it's around 36 to 40 commissions. And this is in the extreme infancy of this platform that's not even fully operational and fleshed out. Can you project forward 4 to 5 months when hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people are on the IT platform doing their social commerce? I mean, it boggles the mind to understand the affluence that is literally ready to flood each and every one of us that has stayed persistently on the course. And then the second thing on the heels of that, 2 days ago, the other horse, which seemed to be lagging far, far behind and actually ready to drop dead on the track, has suddenly shot across the finish line and launched another social media commerce platform for us. So, you know, stars look bright aligned in our universe ahead. So if I were a clairvoyant person, I would see great things in all our futures. Back to you, Monica.
Thank you so much, Doc Fran. One, because I love your voice, or your, I don't know, your speed of reading, something that, you know, yeah, you know, it's like yes, yes, yes. So thank you for your reading, Doc Fran, and then thank you for this last part. I love to see your excitement for iGrow. I'm exactly in the same boat at this moment, and it's so beautiful to persist. It's so funny. I was listening the chapter when you were reading, you know, really more from my heart, and to feel it here, and I get in touch, you know, when she says, Catherine Pondet says, you know, I refuse to give up, you know, and to me it's interesting to differentiate, I will say, you know, between, do I give up in an attachment of, you know, like, for example, like you were saying right now, Dr. Frank, I love the way you were just pointing here, you know, like my commitment from 5 years ago. I mean, I started this like really in Florida. I live in Costa Rica right now. But, you know, like I do feel the call in my heart for financial freedom. More than that, I do feel the call in my heart for the embodiment, the beingness, okay, of prosperity and abundance. And I started my journey. And it's funny because when I say I refuse to give up, you know, many things went wrong and and to me it was so difficult to don't give up, because I was doubting, is this the right thing that I need to do? Is this the right company? Oh my gosh. And at the end, thanks to this mastermind, I will say, you know, I focus. This is like a year and a half now that we are together here, and thanks to this, I decided, it's not about the company at this moment. It's about my own consciousness of prosperity. So I kept, insight to believe in myself, to use all the laws that we are learning here as much as I can, and then to see that this company that we are in right now, after two big crashes that I was excited about, at one point, and to learn how to let that go, because doesn't resonate, doesn't feel whatever it is, but my commitment was with me, with my own consciousness, with my own prosperity, so I do love to distinguish that, and now I remember hearing myself saying, I don't know if it's this company or another company, when I started to doubt the one of them that I was in. And it's true, it's really a matter of vibrating, in our prosperity, abundant frequency, let's say consciousness, and then to allow that, but don't to persist, in your own dream. So, I just love this, this topic, and I would love to hear all of you guys here, what you have to inspire us, or questions maybe, I don't know, but I know all of you very, very wise and very experiential. I like people that we engage in life. We are doing something, not only the inner work, but we touch our actions with that consciousness, right? So see if anyone would like to share something about this persistence, this understanding that we have right now. Yes, Telio, I love it. Welcome.
Very important point that Dr. Fran read in the end, and when I read it, for me, it was crucial about persistence, and it's to be able to have my blocks open to receive, because what she says in the end is that after working with success and being persistent with success, then when it comes, many times we're not open. Our channels are closed, and then that success can evaporate. And to me, that's crucial, because we're talking about success, and well, and in different situations, it's a different context. The opportunity can be there, the situation, the person, and then wow, and with such a strength, and then suddenly it can evaporate because we're tired, because it's not the right moment. Some procrastination can come. And to me, it's so crucial to ask the divinity to have my channels open when that success comes. And maybe coming, it probably is already there, but sometimes we're not even seeing it because our channels are not open. To me, that's crucial. And then another point of persistence that is crucial is it has to be joyous. You can have a persistence of the mind, or a persistence that is great, but if it's dry and it doesn't have joy, the point of joy is not going to bring fruits. So when she talks about joyous persistence, to me, that's crucial. And then going to the basics, that, like Dr. Fran said, the style of Catherine Ponder, I just love it because, talking about difficult and complicated and metaphysical things, but in a way that is so understandable, and it's so day to day, and we can just follow by the line and apply it in the moment of our business, of our situation, of our negotiation, or whatever. And to me, what is persistence in the end? Is like an intelligent stubbornness. When you are stubborn, it's like, oh, that's the opposite to persistence. It's like negative, not the opposite. It's the contrast. I'm surrounded by some stubborn people, and to me it's like, oh my God. And then I realized, no, the divinity is putting you that contrast there so that you understand what is persistence. It's putting the same, pattern of not giving up no matter what, but in a positive frame of everything is possible, of opening the doors. So bless that, like Monica was blessing whatever happened to the car. When that stubbornness shows up in my environment, what I want to do is to bless it and to understand is a contrast, and use divine persistence, which is not giving up. And and in this mastermind is so, anything we talk about here is so powerful and so magical. And sometimes, we're being tested right afterwards or before. Like your example of the car, Monica, was such a test. Anything we work here, any chapter, to me is like I don't want to get into the fear because I know I'm going to be tested in persistence or whatever the chapter is. The next one is about depth. The one before is about, I mean, clairvoyance. And each week we're being tested. So I just want to bless that stubbornness of some part of my environment, because it means that I can be persistent. And of course, I can win.
Wow, Celio, I love your points. I love to have you here with us. I love it, love it, love it. And like you said, the positive stubbornness. And it's interesting because it unfolds, it's almost like our intention is clear. We work every Saturday here. We read during the week. I'm really committed, so I'm persistent on what I'm looking here for, to manifest or to embody this prosperity and abundance consciousness, right? And sometimes, it's like I forget to do it in the action, in the situation. Like yesterday, the car was a great example because I was in the middle. One foot was there, negative, blame, complain, blah, 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 blah. And the other was, like that is unfolding more and more easy. The wings, the blessing, the angels. I don't know what is going on, what is happening. But you know what? Maybe I have to show up there. Who knows? And bless the guy, because at the end I told the guy, you are the angel of the day or whatever. So I love the way that you see it, this positive stubbornness, and to go for it. So thank you so much, Celio. Beautiful.
And something else, because I connect the dots immediately, and she talks also about attitude. So it's all about attitude, but it's attitude taken to a higher level. So for me, the essence of persistence is taking that, yes, no matter what, I can do it, attitude to the higher level. And then it becomes very powerful. Then it becomes manifestation. So,
but you just touch a very powerful point here, Celio, because for me, the I can do it, I mean, I think I grew up with this I can't, like not enough, or I cannot do this, whatever, and how many years I worked with Louise Hay, and I have her calendar, about you can do it, like let's believe it here. But this is one of the biggest, I think, doubts that we have or we can face to let it go. So these kind of negative, limiting, fearful thoughts, they don't disappear, if you don't become aware of them. And then you start to really build up, your positive thinking, your alignment thinking, when you're really thinking in light, in high frequency, like you were saying right now, Celio. So the doubts, the I can't, all that, become aware. Thank you for sharing what it is that I am looking for. And that is the persistence here, so thank you so much. Let's see if we have any other gift. Yes, April, I love to see, or maybe it was a mistake. No, yes, welcome, April.
Oh, awesome. Honestly, Doc Fran, thank you so much for reading this chapter. It's very interesting that when you read something to yourself individually and someone else reads it, it has more power and meaning to it. And one of the things as I'm listening to you, Monica, and Celio talk, I realize, that we are models of persistence, and people are really looking to see people who have gone through difficult times and made it through. And so, as I'm just thinking about financial freedom and having time freedom and, just listening to Doc Fran's wonderful story about how iGrow is going, one of the things that I've come to realization is that we are examples of what it means to go through hard times, continue to be blessed through the struggle, and more importantly, teach people how to lead. And that comes with being persistent, not giving up, realizing that those difficult times will come, but as long as, like Celio said, as long as we continue to have joy in what we're doing, as long as our attitude stays positive, even in the face of adversity, we can excel, and just being able to give that gift to other people and show other people, is something phenomenal. And I can just share like a quick story where, just yesterday I had an opportunity for someone who is in iGrow, who was getting frustrated just with not getting the amount of people that she thought she needed. Long story short, she persisted through the process. She started getting more people, and more importantly, now she's a brand new business owner. And had she not persisted and moved beyond the fair, you know, she would not be excited about iGrow again. So I understand exactly what this chapter is talking about. You know, it's all about your attitude. It's all about going through the process. And the more persistent you are, and I'm a very stubborn person, and the more stubborn you are about reaching your goals, eventually you will make it. You know, you'll always have a wonderful story and testimony to share with other people.
Yes, yes. Yes, 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 I was saying. Thank you so much, April. I mean, I love, are we leaders or what? And you know, I love what you said in some way, you know, because I think we empower each other right here at this very moment. For sure, I feel empowered by you, no doubt. But the thing is how perseverance is really helping us, like you were saying right now, to show that attitude, you know, like to me in the beginning when I was saying you know, I target right now. I feel the call inside, you know. I mean, stop, you know, the scarcity here. You know, I just want financial freedom that I didn't even know what that was for me yet, you know, when I start to feel the call. But, you know, it was kind of, to say it publicly, you know, to claim it to the entire universe, right? So, you know, like in the beginning is like, yeah, I knew I want, and I was talking with my people only, you know, kind of us here. But right now, I scream it to the entire universe, you know. I mean, I say it loud with such a proudness and with such a certainty, and like maybe, you know, I like it, the part of the chapter when she said, be ready, because when the flow comes all at the same time, you know, so you have to be ready and have a clear vision. And I'm thinking, I don't know if I have this clear vision, you know, what do I do, you know? So I love to get so nervous. Looks to me that it's closer, you know, but thank you so much, April. I do enjoy all our leadership, you know, here, that we are here to give the hand to many people that maybe they are waking up to this inner call, you know, of being who we truly are, right? So thank you. Thank you. And let's see if we have Candace maybe to say hello or something, or maybe not, but looking at the microphone here.
I'm looking for my microphone here.
Yes, welcome, welcome.
Hi. Boy, persistence is a great topic. I think it becomes a habit. I think I don't even notice when I'm persevering sometimes because it's been a long time habit. And if you know, all of these qualities that we have, these most, you know, when people fall in love, they fall in love with different parts of a person. And then, you know, further down the line, those are the very parts that they're going, I don't like that about you, because they've seen the other side of it too. So when we're stubborn, you know, or we're persevering, or whatever we call it, I think it's important to just stay in balance with everything. That was my point on that. But so many things were said that were worth really contemplating each on their own. And I appreciate the sense of moving forward. And without that perseverance, I don't think I'd have that feeling. I trust that even in a moment of thinking nothing's happening, that I've developed enough momentum and enough forward movement that I am carrying through, even those little moments where I don't quite notice if I'm persevering or whatnot. But it's one of the key things to realizing all of the commitments we make in life. One of my commitments is to stay as positive as possible and to be courteous to people even if I don't feel like it. Those kind of commitments, and to work on my business every day, to do something toward my business every day. Every one of those takes perseverance and a redeciding in that moment. Oh, I'm persevering here. Oh yeah, I'm not quitting. This is it. This is where I'm headed. And it was such a great reflection back to the past for a moment that Doc Fran gave of how we've stuck together here for a year and a half, and sheddings of our skins, shall we say, and all due to perseverance, all due to that thought of a greater goal, really, that I've ever achieved before. I am thinking bigger than I've ever thought before. And the gap between who I was then and who I am now and who I will become is continually evolving. And perseverance is the thread through it all. It's one of the consistent. Love is the primary thread through it all. But there are aspects to that love, and perseverance is one of them. So, great to see y'all today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Candace. Thank you. I was thinking, I felt very, like you were saying, acknowledging, the perseverance. And I want to acknowledge Arne Rantzen, because, it's incredible to see his persistence, he is incredibly, I don't know, I see his energy as never giving up, always seeing the good, always empowering people around, and I just want to acknowledge him once because he's not here, but I think that this mastermind has a lot of that energy, every Saturday here, and it's a commitment, and I can see that to be surrounded by people, in my case, I live with him, and to see this kind of attitude is very empowering. I mean, at the end, it's like I'm absorbing, this, don't give up, just keep going. It's going to happen. We don't know when, but it's happening, So I love to acknowledge that, and I think as leaders, all of us here, I love it the way, we can grow enough so we can support other people, to believe in themselves and to believe in their vision and in their goals, So I like it when you were saying, April, when you support one member of your team here that is going through the dark or whatever. I think all of us, we are learning how to do that in a masterful way, But to really realize that, you have to be convinced first. And like you were saying right now, Candace, to learn how to speak positive when things apparently are not, I don't know, are more negative or more limited or whatever, to stay focused on what we are looking for instead of our real perception that she was saying on the book too. Catherine Ponder was teaching us today again, like some people are so attach or identify with their perception that takes more power. So if I see the window broken, I cannot see the window fixed, and at the end it's like, oh, well, okay, it does appear that way, but I know angels and whatever, And one of the things that I like a lot about Catherine Ponder, and we are ending the book, so at the end next week we'll probably talk about what is going to be our next book, but I will say that I lost what I was saying here. Something that I love about Catherine Ponder is the ability that she has to unite, the manifestation world, but like you were saying, Thelio, to have our channels open. That relationship with God, you can call it, universe, divine intelligence, the creator, whatever we want to call it, but this incredible great spirit, life force that pushes us here. And to be in alignment with that, so she doesn't miss the spiritual aspect of our being. And, in many other books, I think all of them reflect that, but I never really got it, from this feminine perspective, let's say, where she says the stories and all that stuff, so we can get it, So thank you so much, guys, for all this beautiful time that we have together. And before, Candace, I see the microphone open. You want to say something more?
Well, I just thought of a little funny story, and it's funny in retrospect, but I was arguing with a good friend, and we were pretty heated about it. I forgot what it was about, but in the middle of it, I said, well, I love you. And she said, you don't love me. You're mad as heck at me right now. And I said, well, yes, I'm mad at you right now, but I love you is where I'm headed, and I am not settling for less, even if we're arguing right now. So that changed the whole argument, because that was my intention, that was my perseverance, and I was going to slice through the baloney, because being angry at, two friends who care about each other being angry at each other is pretty silly. But anyway, I just wanted to share that because it came up in the great memory file here, the great memory banks. Popped that one up. Thanks.
Thank you, Candace. Beautiful, and I would love to open a little space here for Doc Fran. I was thinking, Doc Fran, let's check with Arne about the book. We can give all ideas here if you have. I have a list already from, I remember, Celia, that book that you also recommended, the Charles Fillmore, that I think can be very powerful too. But we will look at what you're saying here too, Doc Fran. But before we close our mastermind here, there is anything that you would like to add, you know, or share or something. Yes, I can see you open there.
Yeah, this again, I thank you, April, for your contributions as well. It's wonderful to have people step up and have the courage to join us on the panel here. And every person knows things that other people don't know. And every time you make a statement or comment that's coming from your truth, it serves to illuminate the path for everyone who hears it at the right time in their life. So wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Candace, Celio, you guys are steadfast beacons here for all of us on this troubled water, and it's always reassuring to see your light shining through the fog that surrounds us for most of our life. I want to share, Nancy brought to my attention this week a book that's in print, and I just put it in the chat book. It's called Miracles in Prayer, and it's really been fascinating. I read this whole thing in you know, the first day that I got it, and it strikes me that it is a perfect explanation for what is unfolding right now, thanks to our persistence on a course here with iGrowNet and it. And it is nothing short of a miracle what they're unfolding, and the miracle is going to happen for each and every one of us. I have literally no doubt in my mind and vision that this is the vehicle that is going to create more abundance in every one of our lives than anything in the past. And this book is called Miracles in Prayer. It's by Robin Duncan, and it's available as a downloadable free PDF at freeprayerbook.com. I put it in the chat. If you click on that little chat icon in the upper left side, it'll pop up on the right side of your screen and you can see it. But I want to just read, I want to read one short paragraph from the introductory part of this book. Miracles are the result of a shift in perception. They are not the result of chance, coincidence, being fortunate, or from being in the right place at the right time. In order to experience miracles, it is not required that we know or even understand the truth about God or God's creation. Your part is to have a little willingness to see things differently. And then you can receive a healed perception from your higher mind, divine intelligence, God's source, divine love, whatever you choose to call it. Once our fearful thoughts are healed, miracles are a natural result. And you know, we all are aware, we've talked about, we've learned about from multiple perspectives the reality that our thoughts create our existence. It creates literally every event in our lives. That thought precedes manifestation. And you know, I don't know how many ways we can look back through history and read, you know, like common sayings that we all have in our life. You know, if you believe it, if you believe you can, you will. If you believe you can't, you will. This little quote in this Prosperity Law of Persistence from today from Shakespeare, where Cassius declares, "It is not in our stars, but in ourselves that we are underlings." And you know, I may not be the sharpest knife in the drawer, and I certainly have been dense for the last 68 years in actually understanding this on the application level. And we've talked in the past about the difference between intellectual knowingness and subconscious incorporation of concept and principle into our lives and living. And gosh, I'm so glad that I actually am unfolding a little bit better the awareness of the importance of application before I draw that final breath. And, you know, we've all been asked to write at different times in our life, you know, complete the following statement, I am. And, you know, we've all had different answers for that as different stages of awareness have washed over us. And I just added a new I am statement to my beingness. And that is, I am a stable terminal in this time-space continuum that serves as a beacon of hope and help to others on their paths to abundance and fulfillment. And I think that that statement is applicable to each and every one of us on this.
Can you repeat it, Doc Fran?
Can I do what?
Repeat.
Yeah. I am, I'll type it into the chat box. I am a stable terminal in this time and space continuum that serves as a beacon of hope and help to others.
I love it.
On their paths to abundance and fulfillment.
Beautiful. Oh my gosh, I just love that. You know, I think that's our inner being. I mean, our soul, higher self. I don't know how you call it, but guardian angel, whatever, Holy Spirit. You know, it's such a joy, you know, to serve in this direction. You know, to serve towards the truth, to serve towards the joy that we are made of. You know, the love, the beauty, the prosperity. I mean, it's so beautiful, Doc Frank. I just love it. Thank you. I don't know if are you writing it on the place?
You know what, I will. Let me just type it right in here in the chat.
Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. Well, we are leaders here, you know. I love how all of you guys and to really, you know, step up and share our situation here, our progress, I will say. And just before we close this Unlimited Network Mastermind, just to wish you, all of you, you know, a wonderful, prosperous week. In this case, you know, bring awareness to your sense of perseverance, and if you have doubts, read the chapter again, so it's easier to let it go, and to really stand up and focus for what is supporting your truth, your passion, your goal, you know, your vision for yourself, what life you want to experience, manifest here. And that's what we are becoming, you know. We are mastering our minds. And I don't know if that's written yet for you to copy and paste, I will say. And remember to click the remember to click the link of freeprayerbook.com, freeprayerbook.com, to check the Miracle in Prayers by Robin Duncan. So again, it's freeprayerbook.com. And just one little detail before, remember, if you want to be on this side of the mastermind, meaning part of the panel where we can all talk and share, you know, and empower each other here, that is what we are doing, remember to send an email to Arne, A-R-N-E, @unlimitednetwork.com. So he can send you the special link so you can be part of here. That I do love to have you here. I tell you, I learn from you always, and it's beautiful, you know, to share our own journey here, supporting each other on this level. So thank you so much. Let's see, not yet.
No, and I have something. Nancy called up the steps. She said you can use the fact that we spent last weekend celebrating our 45th wedding anniversary as a study in persistence on a course.
Yes, and what a truth! I mean, happy anniversary! I mean, what
happy
a beautiful
anniversary! Thank you, Nancy.
Yes, what a beautiful realization, and for sure, I mean, I will say relationships, marriage, long-term commitment, you know, really requires perseverance, persistence. And congratulations to both of you, and also to the birthday girl that was yesterday. Was Candace's birthday, and I didn't realize myself. I think I was all day out tomorrow, but happy birthday. And again, this is persistence, you know, in our aliveness, you know, every day, you know, like choosing here the best, you know, for us, and and enjoying our life. So yeah, thank you. Happy everything, birthday and anniversary. Wow, that's a maturity on relationship, you know? Beautiful. Great. Okay, let's see.
All right, here it comes. I think.
Beautiful. I'm ready already to copy and paste. And for the ones that you want to write it down on the other side, you know, is I am a stable terminal in this time-space continuum that serves as a beacon of hope and help to others on their path to abundance and fulfillment. Dr. Fran. Beautiful. So, you know, it's so interesting to me how much enjoyment, oops, I don't know what I did here, how much enjoyment we can have, you know, by supporting others, you know, to go in this direction too. So thank you so much, Dr. Fran, for this beautiful gift that you have gave us today. And that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for your presence here, your gift, your wisdom, your passion for what we are looking. Remember that we get together next Saturday again. That will be August the 8th, already, you know, like full summer here. And I wish you a wonderful week to all of you, conscious of your prosperity consciousness and ready to keep expanding here. So thank you, everyone, and see you next week.
Thanks for the well wishes, folks. Have a great week. Bye-bye now.
Say.
Great.
Okay.